That we are just 6 days away from Election Day, and we are taking a look at the issues on the ballot impacting you.
There are only 3 full-time fire departments in Pickaway County, and one says they'll face layoffs if a levy isn't passed next week. Circleville Fire had a levy that failed and ended last year. And
10 TV's Lacey Crisp explains the city is now going back to voters asking for money to maintain staffing levels.
The fire chief tells me if this levy does not pass, he's going to have to lay off 7 firefighters. He says that's a full staff at a time when the community is growing.
Oftentimes people don't think about services like fire services and police services, and it's an insurance policy, and that's what it is. And I cannot fathom living in a community that doesn't have adequate safety services.
Katie Hedges is passionate about supporting the levy that will provide funding for Circleville's fire department.
It's not about getting more, it's about sustaining what we have and developing to account for that development that's coming to us.
Safety Director Paul Pride explains this levy comes at a time when there's massive growth in the area, including 1,400 new homes.
What this levy means is being able to continue to support those fire and EMS people, the personnel, to make those runs. Outside of having the personnel that we have now to be able to handle those runs, we're going to have to be dependent upon other agencies from other cities. And so when you run into those kind of issues or challenges.
The previous levy passed in 2019 has expired, and a 0.5% levy is on the ballot to replace the expired levy. It's an income tax, and Circleville has a commuter tax credit, so residents who work outside the city won't pay.
It'll cause delays in our response. We'll have to, people calls for 911 for a medical call, we have to rely on our mutual aid partners, and sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 minutes because when we get busy, they get busy.
Circleville Fire Chief Brian Thompson explains in the 6 years he's been chief, the number of runs his department takes every year has increased by 57%. He says he can't imagine doing that work with fewer people.
A lot of times people don't know that they need us until they need us. So, think of your loved ones, think of your neighbors, think of, the schools that we have in our area. Somebody needs 911, somebody needs the fire department and the EMS.
And the whole levy isn't dedicated just to the fire department. Of the 0.5% of the levy, 0.1% would go to the roads if passed. In Circleville, Lacey Crisp, 10 TV News.
10 TV is your home for election coverage. For everything you need to know ahead of November 4th, next Tuesday, just text VOTE to the number on your screen, 614-460-3345. Get a look at that sample ballot.